All right, so good day, class. Thank you for joining our session for today. So I will be again your online learning coordinator for this subject. So to continue with our discussion, we will have to discuss the PHP basics or the basics of PHP programming language. So this will be our week two or the module two that we have to discuss for today. So we have these learning objectives. So basically, at the end of the module, you are expected to first understand how to use PHP syntax, understand and apply comments in PHP codes, understand the concept of case sensitivity in PHP codes, understand the use of variables, understand and apply the use of echo and print statements, understand the concept of data types and use it in PHP programs, and lastly, apply string concatenation. So to start with, let us take a look at the syntax of PHP. So to embed PHP code, you must use the following syntax. So this is how the syntax of PHP programming language looks like. So basically here, as you can see that you should start your program with this less than symbol and a question mark and of course, the recursive acronym PHP. And then end it, of course, or close it with the same question mark symbol and a greater than symbol. So within those symbols, you should write your PHP code. All right. So basically, guys, that's how the syntax of PHP programming language looks like. Okay. So let's talk about comments in PHP. For those who have already experienced using programming or other programming languages, comments is something that you are already using uh, to inform other programmers who may check your website as to how that specific part of your program works. So basically, for the definition, a comment in PHP code is a line that is not being read or not being executed as part of the program. Its purpose is to provide, like what I've mentioned, information or details to the codes like other programming languages. So basically, these are the following use of comments in PHP. So of course, to let developers understand the code you are writing, and of course, serves as a reminder for the programmer who is writing that specific program. So basically, guys, as you can see here, that this is our comment line. So you should have like two slashes here, and then any words or any letters that you will be writing after those two slash will not be read nor be executed by your program. So as you can see here for our example or this example program, let's just focus on the comment lines first. So these are not being read on the output. As you can see, those are not part of your output. Okay. So let's proceed. Let's talk about PHP case sensitivity. So basically, guys, in PHP, all keywords like if else, while, echo, etc., as well as classes, functions, and user-defined functions are not case sensitive, like this one. Okay, echo is a keyword being used or a code being used in PHP programming language. So you may write them through these ways. All right. It does not matter if you start with a capital letter and end with a capital letter or combination of a capital letter and small letters or vice versa. Okay, so your program will still run, and that specific code, even if you write it with different, I mean, in different ways, then you will still be able to see an output and will not have any effect on your program. Okay, so All you have to do is just to take note that all variable names are case sensitive like this one. This is how we declare variables or name variables in PHP programming. Okay, so as you can see here, a variable has been declared, and dollar color or color with the dollar symbol is being used as our variable name. And the data that we will be putting into our variable is red. So whenever you use or you declare this variable this way, then all throughout of the program, you should write it this way. All small letters, not this one. Because if you'll do that, your program will read this as a separate variable name with these. All right. So basically, if you have declared this, then this is only this is the only variable that will be read by your program, unless you have also written another variable names which are being written this way. So these will be considered as three different variables. Okay, so as you can see in the output, you will have you will have an error. Okay, so the next is take note of this or these rules when it comes to variable declaration or variable naming. A variable can have a short name like X and Y, or a more descriptive name like age, car name, total underscore volume. But of course, the common practice is to use descriptive name so that you will not be confused as well as to what is that variable is for. Okay, so you do have these following rules. A variable starts with the dollar sign followed by the name of the variable. A variable name must start with a letter or the underscore character. Basically, a variable cannot or a variable name cannot start with a number. And a variable name can only contain alphanumeric characters and underscore or underscores. So basically, this is the only special character that you may use whenever you name a variable in PHP programming. Okay, variable name or names are case sensitive, like what we mentioned earlier. Okay, remember as well that PHP variable names, like what we have mentioned, are case sensitive. So we would like to highlight this so that you'll not forget that, again, you have to be careful whenever you name a variable and whenever you use that variable name all throughout of your program. So this is an example. We do have this variable name here. This is how we declare variable. So dollar sign name, that's our variable name, and then the value here. All right. We also have another variable that we have declared here that we named company. We also have dollar another. I mean underscore another. That's still acceptable, and then name two. That's also acceptable. These are also acceptable as long as you are able to follow those rules that we've mentioned. Then you're good to go. Okay. So let's talk about data types now. So these are the most commonly known data types in PHP as well as with other programming languages. So we do have here an example integer as our data type. All right. And then we also have float. So integer will be able to accept whole numbers like up until this number without, of course, any decimal value. While float will be able to accept numbers with decimal value. Okay. And basically, those are the two most commonly known data types in PHP as well as with other programming languages. Okay. So we also have what we call string. String will be able to or is capable of accepting, of course, um, words. All right. It can also accept like uh, any letter, something like that. Okay, all you have to do is to remember that whenever you would like to include like an apostrophe here for a specific as a part of, let's say, a contracted word like this one, you have to include the slash so that you'll not have any problem and you'll have the correct output like this one. Without the slash, your program might be confused because of course string value is being assigned using a single quotation mark. Okay. We also have what we call here, like this one, an example of our program, like if else. And as you can see here, that we do have the Boolean type of data here, which will be able to, or which is capable of accepting true and false. Okay. So that's what we call Boolean. Okay. And like here, as we can see that we do have some examples like integer, float, string, boolean. So those are the most commonly known data types in PHP programming. So there are other uh, data types that you may also consider using, like double, but we will using these in the meantime. I mean, these data types that I mentioned. Moving forward, we will also take a look at those other data types. Okay. So let's talk about concatenation. All right. So concatenation operator, which is being represented by a dot or a period, is used to combine two string values to create one string. Like what we have here as an example. So we have declared multiple or we have declared multiple variables with different values or separate values. Okay. And then if you would like to combine those values, all you have to do instead of, declaring them to be shown on the output one by one, then you can do it this way. Okay. So if you would like to combine those values into a different variable like this, then you can use the concatenation operator like this. Okay. So basically guys, there's just a machine problem here that I will be giving you after we discuss all of the topics that we have to discuss. But those are the things that we should be aware of when it comes to PHP programming. So I believe that we were already able to achieve all of those objectives that we should have after discussing the module 2. Thank you for listening and see you all to our next discussion. I hope that I will be able to see you again, guys, and keep safe always.